guys, it's Soda here, and welcome back to another video. Today I just wanted to make a little video on another video that I saw recently on Facebook of all places. There was like some AXOLOTL groups that were sharing this video around, and I watched it and I was just like really confused because the video was spreading a lot of misinformation, but I did think it brought up an interesting topic, so I thought I would go through that video with you guys today. It's only a short video, but there's a lot in it to go through and kind of talk about the subject that this video talks about. I have made a whole video on the differences between Minecraft AXOLOTLs and real life AXOLOTLs before, if you want to see that, because obviously like AXOLOTLs being in Minecraft has made a kind of a difference to like the popularity of AXOLOTLs, but this video there's a lot of misinformation. So the video has over 500,000 views and it's just a 3-minute video. So the caption says, "Dangerous trend over a video game endangers AXOLOTLs." Let's watch, shall we? An AXOLOTL mating. Okay, so alright, so as you saw, this video claims that because of Minecraft introducing AXOLOTLs into the game, and with Minecraft being a very popular game, it's encouraging a lot of kids to want to get AXOLOTLs as pets, and because of so many people getting AXOLOTLs at the moment, it's endangering their species. And I can tell you guys that is completely false. The AXOLOTLs that you're getting from a pet store or from a breeder are captive bred AXOLOTLs. There is thousands, probably millions of captive bred AXOLOTLs. They do breed very easily in captivity, so despite them being critically endangered in the wild, there is plenty of them in captivity. So if you're buying an AXOLOTL from a pet store, which I don't recommend, I recommend you find a reputable breeder instead, you're not decreasing their wild population. Don't worry. AXOLOTLs have been in danger in the wild for a long time. Way before Minecraft they have been endangered. This is not a new thing. It's not caused by Minecraft. And I think that this video claiming that Minecraft is causing them to become extinct is such bullshit. Like, I don't even play Minecraft. I did used to play it when I was younger, and I get it. I get why it's popular. I get why kids like it. There definitely has been an increase of people wanting AXOLOTLs because of AXOLOTLs being introduced to the game. But I don't personally think that's necessarily always a bad thing, as long as it's done right, because I think that it's actually made a lot of people also appreciate AXOLOTLs more and want to learn more about them and understand that they are endangered in the wild. And my god. So AXOLOTLs are a critically endangered species, but the main reason because of this is because of habitat loss, pollution, and invasive species eating them. It's not a video game that's causing this, I promise you. And obviously it is really sad that they are so critically endangered. AXOLOTLs are now only found in one lake in Mexico, and there's very few of them left. They're pretty rare to actually come across in the wild. AXOLOTLs have been a critically endangered species since 2006, so it's definitely not a new thing. They have been critically endangered for a very long time, and it's said that there's probably about 1,000 left in the wild, but there's no exact number for that. So no, this is not because of Minecraft. They only just got introduced to Minecraft like last year, I think, so. And I don't think it's a bad thing that AXOLOTLs are in the game, because I think it's spreading a lot of awareness about AXOLOTLs and like how they're endangered, and from what I understand there's like a blue AXOLOTL in the game, and that's supposed to be like really rare, so it's supposed to kind of represent how rare real AXOLOTLs actually are. There's no such thing as blue AXOLOTLs, but it's supposed to represent how rare an actual AXOLOTL is in the wild, which I think is actually pretty cool. And actually is a good way of teaching kids things like that. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for a kid to want an axolotl because of Minecraft. Obviously, I think they shouldn't go out and get one on an impulse just because they saw it on Minecraft, but I think that's also encouraging a lot of kids to do their own research on axolotls, which I think is a good thing. Obviously, parents should be, you know, on board with that and also be like helping their kid do research as well. I think it's a great learning experience to like teach a kid how to properly care for an animal, as long as parents are aware that they should also be a big part of it, because technically it's still their legal responsibility to be caring for the animal. I think that as long as the parents and the kid are doing a lot of research and actually are giving the axolotl the appropriate care, appropriate tank size, cycled fish tank, no gravel, the right diet, and also are aware that axolotls aren't the same as Minecraft axolotls. They're very different. They're not as active. They don't really do a lot. They're just kind of there. And that's fine. I like them like that. But you know, some kids might actually realize that they're kind of boring to some people. Axolotls have been bred in captivity for a super long time. They come in many different morphs. They've been through many different generations. And I think every time I make a video on my axolotl toothless, I will get a comment that says, "You shouldn't take animals from the wild. We shouldn't keep wild animals as pets." And I'm really confused by this, because do you think that I went to Mexico and found an endangered species and took it back to my country, New Zealand, and kept it as a pet? Like, what? Am I supposed to release my captive bred axolotl into the wild where it will die and pollute the water? But honestly, this video kind of seems like they're just kind of trying to bash on like a video game and not focusing on the real reason axolotls are endangered, which is pollution and invasive species and their habitats being destroyed and stuff like that. It's not because they're in a video game. And then they kind of compare it to the clownfish, so let's see that. Okay, so I can kind of understand where they're coming from with this. I did do a bunch of research on this whole NEMO effect thing, because they said that the population in the wild was halved because of Finding Nemo. So I went pretty deep into researching about this, and I couldn't find any evidence that supported that theory at all. Now, it is true that unfortunately clownfish and other saltwater fish are wild caught and then sold in pet stores, which I completely disagree with. I don't think we should be buying wild caught animals, and it can be a really inhumane process. Like they said, some places that do catch wild caught fish, I believe it's in Southeast Asia, they use inhumane methods like cyanide to slow down the fish and to make it easier to catch them, which is awful, and I don't agree with buying wild caught animals at all. But I definitely don't believe that it was Finding Nemo's fault that the population of clownfish has decreased. Now, the clownfish is not an endangered species, but it is true that their species is found less in like certain areas, but the main reason because of this is because of global warming and pollution. It is not because of Finding Nemo. And I think that a lot of articles just like to just say that without any actual evidence, just because it gets a lot of attention. Especially, like, I found that most of the articles that said that this was a thing have no scientific evidence, and also it came out before Finding Dory came out, so I'm pretty sure that a lot of it is just because of that. I couldn't find actual evidence that their species was declining just because of a movie. I did find that it did increase a lot of people like googling clownfish or blue tang fish, you know, and maybe it potentially did make people want to buy a clownfish, but a lot of the time when people find out that saltwater fish are really hard to care for, it discourages them from actually getting one. And it does seem that catching wild-caught clownfish seems to be becoming less of a popular thing, thankfully. I think people are starting to realize that that's like not okay. But also breeding clownfish in captivity is actually pretty common, and now you can pretty easily buy a captive bred clownfish instead of a wild caught one. And also the whole movie in Nemo is about like how you shouldn't like take fish from the wild. Also, they keep using this picture of axolotls in a tub and saying that like kids are like, you know, hoarding them like in Minecraft and whatever, but this honestly just looks like a normal breeding setup to me. A lot of breeders will keep babies in tubs like this while they're small so they can like feed them easier and clean their tubs every day and stuff like that, which is fine. This is a normal baby axolotl setup to me. Thousands of children wanting one for Christmas. Its needs can cost thousands of dollars a year? Really? I don't think I've even spent $1,000 at all on my axolotl. That's crazy. I mean, it is true that they can be costly, like especially when you put everything together, like their tank and filter and, you know, all that stuff. But honestly, definitely not thousands a year. Toothless probably cost me about like $100 a year, because once you have everything for your axolotl already, all you need to keep buying is food, which isn't that expensive if you buy it in like bulk and stuff. So yeah, I don't know where they got that idea from. But also it is important to keep in mind that all animals can cost more later in the line, especially if they need to have like a vet visit or something like that. Axolotls can get problems like bloat or tumors and stuff like that, which need actual vet care. So it's always good to keep that in mind, that potentially at some point in their life they may need to go to a vet, which can be very expensive and cost you like a few hundred to a few $1,000s. But that's not something that will likely happen all the time, and I've never had that happen with my axolotl that I've had for quite a few years. The Nemo phenomena almost ends the clownfish. That's completely false. They have never been endangered, so I don't know why they're saying that. And experts claim the same thing will happen to the axolotl. Who are these experts that claim that? Also, it says here to prevent the illegal sale of the species. I didn't even mention anything about that at the time because I assumed it meant like to prevent illegal sales. Because I'm pretty sure there are some like areas, I think there's some like American states where it's illegal to own an axolotl. So possibly there are illegal sales. But it just says to prevent the illegal sale, which implies that they're all illegal sales, which they're not. They're illegal to sell in a lot of countries and areas. Again, just another lie. This trend might end with an important number of their population and make them fundamentally extinct. Who wrote this? Like, I don't think they actually looked into what they were talking about at all. Like, they must actually think that the axolotls people own as pets are the same ones that come from the wild. This was posted the 20th of January. And I just feel like they should probably remove it. Not that they're gonna see my video, but like, maybe it's not the best idea to put up a video just full of misinformation that has over 500,000 views and thousands of shares. Because yeah, this is completely wrong, and I feel like we should probably not be promoting misinformation and blaming Minecraft because of a species that's been endangered since 2006, instead of like talking about how humans have destroyed all their habitats and polluted all their waters and introduce non-native species that are eating them. I don't know. So yeah, my conclusion is this video is wrong. Yes, axolotls are endangered, critically endangered in the wild, but the ones that people buy as pets are not from the wild. They are captive bred and they are completely different to wild axolotls. So you're not a bad person for having an axolotl as a pet. You're not taking them away from the wild or anything like that. And please don't release your captive bred axolotl into the wild because they will die. I do understand that Minecraft has probably encouraged a lot of kids to want to get axolotls, but I think that that's a good opportunity to for parents to teach their kids about the responsibility of owning an animal and all the real care that goes into it. and that these are animals that do require more care than you might expect if you don't know the care of like aquatic animals. They aren't hard to care for, I wouldn't say. I think the hardest part is just if you're starting out, you don't know anything about cycling a fish tank, learning all of that can be a little bit hard. But once you've got these tanks cycled and you've got everything ready, got a filter ready and all that stuff, they're really honestly pretty easy pets in my opinion. As long as you also keep in mind that they do live a very long time. They can live up to 15 to 20 years, so be prepared for that. And also be prepared that they might not be as entertaining to watch as you might think. People always say that fish are boring, but axolotls are way less active than fish, so yeah, that's my thoughts on that video. I just saw it and it just bothered me. I keep thinking about it for a super long time, so I really wanted to talk about it. Interesting little video I found, and I think it's always good to kind of talk about the subject as well. I have made actually quite a lot of axolotl videos. If you are interested in the care of them, I've got a whole playlist of axolotl videos you can check out if you want to. I'll have that in the link in the description of my video. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!